speaking of men, let's turn over to Todd Davis. Give us the inside scoop, baby.
All right, let's scoop it up. All right, so this is first and 10, 12 minutes and 14 seconds on the clock. This was a big play that the Broncos gave up, and I think it's just a missed assignment here. I'm not sure what they're doing. It feels like they're running like a buzz concept, cover 3, where they have the nickel blitzing off this edge. But the problem I see is that both the linebackers buzz this direction. So Alex is going to play like a curl flat. Josie's going to play this hook. And this end also drops this way. So you can't have two guys playing curl flat. And the way that guys usually scheme blitzes as a defense is easily you're going to have a safety insert to fill this hole that's being created, or you're going to have the defensive end, Baron Browning in this case, drop to fill a hole that's created. So that's not what happened on this play, and you'll see the result. You have a wide open Jordan on this play that goes for 27 yards, and you have 1, 2, 3 defenders, really 4, covering these 3. So we're completely misaligned on this assignment, and we don't execute well. And this is one of the plays that leads to them having a good first half that they do. This play goes for 27 yards, and these are just the kind of mistakes that the Broncos weren't making in their 5-game winning streak. They weren't having a lot of mental errors or missed assignments. Like, there's nobody even close to this guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we gotta clean up stuff like this if we want to continue to get back onto a winning streak.
Yeah, that one was so tough because the Broncos are trying to be aggressive, and then it just blew up right in their face right away.
Yeah. I mean, I understand them blitzing J-Mac. He had a great blitz later on in the game, sack, fumble. But whoever this defensive end that was supposed to drop, I think it was the D end because of the way that everybody else was buzzing. We got to clean this up.
Great point.
All right, this next one. Last week, they were running the trap nonstop and then also running pullers off of it. Once again, this is another trap play by the Denver Broncos, and I think they just do such a good job of it. That's why they continue to run it. So the trap, if you can see, they're going to trap this inside guy right here, and it allows Javonte to get right up front. Garrett does a great job sealing his man. Lil Jordan does a great job with a block here, and Javonte finds the hole up the middle. It feels like the trap is becoming this is Javonte here. He's going to scratch. It feels like the trap is becoming like our number one play.
Yeah.
A lot of teams don't run it. It's kind of like an old school football play at this point. But the guys do such a great job being able to just shield their guys. And for a defensive line, it's hard to combat it because you have to get a good jump off the line, and then you got to try and sweep underneath the guy that's coming to block you. Like, it's a lot of thought, a lot of thinking that goes into, defending this play well, and the Broncos are doing a good job running it. So I think they should continue it. I mean, this play goes for almost 20 yards with the extra push at the end.
Yeah, I mean, and I've just learned so much from you about just how important traps is in this offense during the inside scoop throughout the weeks.
Yeah, they're doing good. They're doing good with it. Oh, this one is a play to Jerry Jeudy. We don't have the wide open, but they continue to run these deep crossers, and this was the 4th and 1 where you can't see it right here, but Jerry Jeudy is open from this point all the way to the end of the play, and Russ is sitting here, man. He's sitting here. I'm not sure what he's looking at. I know that, it's really like one read and then find the check down. He's not really going through a true progression, and I think that's part of the problem because we don't have the back end view, but if you guys are watching on TV, you guys saw how wide open Jerry Jeudy was, and it's tough to see plays like this. I was sitting with somebody watching the game, and they were like, why isn't Jerry Jeudy like a dominant receiver? And I'm like, it's plays like that. It's not necessarily Jerry not doing what he needs to do. They're not finding him on the plays that he could be really helpful to this offense.
Right, yeah, and they saw it. They showed it right after. Jerry was wide open. And a lot of people in the comment section right now are crushing Russ for being too timid and not throwing these. But as Henry's mentioned, it comes down to a couple of plays a game, and you're only going to have wide open guys once or twice a game. You have to capitalize on those. You have to hit Marvin Mims for a touchdown. You have to find Jerry Jeudy when he's wide open. And also,
Cortland needs to catch that ball on the first drive.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And it's the interesting thing is both Cortland and Jerry, like you said, they're running the crossers.
Yep.
They were both going deep, so it wasn't like just one of them was to be a decoy. No,
Exactly.
the play was to actually. Everyone's focused on the short yardage on 4th and 1. This is to hit deep.
Exactly. So, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure where he's looking because this should have been his first and second read, like hands down. You look to one, then you look to the other, and then if it's not there, then you take off and run. So as you can see right here, I mean, you got one defender for two guys. He's going to follow Cortland to this half, and literally there's nobody waiting for Jerry on this half.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and he's throwing his hands up, and after the play, Jerry's like...
He was distraught, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, and understandably so, but he was not hiding how he felt. He knew that it was a touchdown off the board.
Yeah, it's tough. Hopefully we get it figured out. All right, this is my man J Mack continuing to do what he does best. We got a corner blitz that comes off the edge right here. This is a great disguise by Vance Joseph. You don't know who's rushing. You don't know who's dropping out in coverage, but they actually go to a zone in this play, and there's only 4 rushers. And you have 7 defenders versus 4 rushers, and we managed to get home. That's a great play by J Mack coming off the edge. He is screaming off this edge.
Man.
He can't be blocked. Look at this. They have, literally, they have 7 guys in the pocket, and J Mack wins his one-on-one, and that's all that matters. Really, PJ was winning his one-on-one too, so no matter what, I think it would have been a great play for the defense. But this is a great sack fumble here. We were so close to having this ball bounce our way. Jonathan Cooper, man, just fall on it.
I know.
You ain't got to scoop and score, man. Just fall on the ball. Great strip sack by J Mack. He continues to make plays and continues to be a spark for this defense, man. I know he gave a touchdown late in the game, but no matter what, he's continuing to make plays.
It is just wild for a slot corner, a nickel corner, whatever you want to call him, to be like the turnover machine on defense. And he's not just doing it interceptions, like to be forcing that. Todd, I have to imagine, especially as an inside linebacker, if you have a guy on the outside of you that brings this mentality, that's just got to be so beneficial. And you got to love being surrounded by that.
No, it's perfect. It sucks because that means I'm not blitzing. Like now if there's blitzes coming, it's probably going to him and I'll be in coverage. But we definitely love that mentality and level he's bringing to the table. All right, this one right here is an out and up by Jerry Jeudy, which they do complete for 41 yards. But I think Russ is really taking too much time here. It's a great protection by the O-line. He has plenty of time. They're doing a great job blocking. But Jerry is open from like 2 seconds after this ball is snapped. Cortland runs a clear out. Jerry runs the out and up. So like Russ ends up hitting Jerry about right here, but Jerry is wide open right now. And I think there's tons of times where he's either staring down Jerry and afraid to throw the ball or not finding Jerry at all. But this guy's trying to run back and, you know, retrace his steps because he knows he blew his coverage. But Jerry Jeudy is wide open for a long time within this play. They do connect. The O-line does a great job blocking. But I feel like it just takes so long for him to get the ball sometimes because Jerry Jeudy's wide open, man. And I won't stop saying it until they start using him correctly and finding ways to get him the ball.
Yeah, and man, one of the things that I was thinking back on that 4th and 1 play with Jerry being so wide open is you can live with Russ not hitting deep shots when he's throwing 1 touchdown, no picks, 2 touchdown, no picks. But when you're throwing 3 interceptions, and I know one of them was tipped and I know one of them was the last play of the game, but even if it's just one of those picks, it's so hard to live with when that's not also coming with the big plays.
Exactly.
And there's just such a small error for Russ in that department where, man, if he just hits one of these big plays, even with the 3 interceptions, they're probably still winning the game.
Exactly. Yeah. I think as a defender, when I make a bad play and they run for 40 yards, I'm like, okay, now I got to make a play that wins the game. Like, I got to force a fumble. The same thing is true for Russ. Like, okay, if you throw an interception, no big deal, but then we got to have, you know, some deep passing attack, maybe 2 touchdowns to make up for that 1 pick, and he's not doing that just yet.
Yeah, and that reminds me, I mean, another linebacker, Alex Singleton, we talked about, like, the mistake he made. He played some great football outside of that play. Like, he had that sack. He was doing all sorts of stuff. Like, again, would you just say, like, I'll take the neutral instead? Maybe, but, like, he did that. Like, he came back and made up for it.
And he played with his hair on fire.
Yeah, he was balling yesterday. He was. All right, this is the last play I have. This is the interception by Russell Wilson. And this is a tough play, I can't lie, because the Texans do a great job of the skies right here. They have 2 safeties and 2 corners, but what's going to actually happen is this safety is going to come down and play the hook, and the corner is going to come back and play the deep half. So that's what Russ sees on this initial play. He thinks that the safety got juked by by Cortland Sutton, but he's going to take away this slant route. Like, that's his responsibility. This corner actually has over-the-top coverage. So when Russell sees this safety bite, he thinks he has Cortland wide open in the middle of the field, and that's why he throws this ball. I get where he's going, but at the same time, I think you got to be able to read the defense as a whole, and he just didn't do a good job with it. And that's when you see the safety's down here because that's his job. He has the hook. Cortland's not wide open. Singletary has him over the top. He's not. It's not an open throw, and then that's what results in this being a turnover and him undercutting the route and having a pick. This is a great disguise by the Texans defense and great execution. I want to not fault Russ, but I mean, year 13, I don't know what it is for him now. He has to be able to recognize when the safety and the corner invert to create like matchups like this.
It's also just a great play from that corner.
It is.
Like to be able to get that fast. Like even on this last screenshot there, like that is still some ground that you have to cover.
Yep.
Like there it looks like you lead that ball inside, like there's just plenty of space, you know?
Yeah.
And again, like you need better from Russ there, but that is also just an insane play from that corner to get all the way back and not just break it up, but to pick it off.
Exactly.
Well, and I think all things can be true there, but one of the things I love about the inside scoop is I didn't know that. No, no one's talked about how this play was designed by the Texans and how Russ could have seen this coming, because everyone so far has just talked about how, including myself, just how great of a play it was by the corner, and it still was that. But I love seeing it this way to see how a veteran quarterback should have seen it or could have seen it.
Exactly. And maybe if he throws the ball in here, maybe it is completed to Cortland, and the corner's not able to recover. But nevertheless, it was a pick. Great play by him.
Yeah.
You got to recognize them switching jobs.